Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the conversation on TOS Television Network. And thank God it's Friday. I hope you're looking forward to the weekend like I am. I am Ade Suwasi.
And I am Merciful Ajinomo. Good morning.
I feel like Merciful has a plan for the weekend.
Of course, we all have a plan. I mean, it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. It's the weekend. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is the period where we start to try to get calm.
Distress, yes. All right. Before we get into, okay, so unfortunately we wouldn't be able to bring you the quote of the day today, but we'll promise to bring that, back on Monday. So we're going to go on a break, and when we come back, we will be taking you through, stories and happenings from across African continent. Welcome back to the conversation on TOS Television Network. Moving straight into development from across Africa, starting from here in Nigeria. Now, if you've been following the show, you would have heard us talk about, the hijab controversy in Kwara State, that's southwest Nigeria. Now, the hijab controversy took another dimension yesterday in Kwara State, and it has instigated the Christian Association of Nigeria to call on the federal government and Inspector General of Police Adamu Muhammad to intervene in the ongoing violence over the hijab policy, which, according to the association, has led to violence and bloodletting in Kwara State. The Christian Association of Nigeria, in a statement issued on Wednesday by the CAN General Secretary Joseph Bade Daramala, said Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak should be held responsible if the matter gets worse. The religious body said the governor's pronouncement on the issue of hijab wearing is in violation of the court order on the matter, that the status quo should be maintained until the matter is resolved by the court. The statement partly reads, "Wisdom is required by those in leadership to handle sensitive issues such as that of religion, so as not to precipitate war. If any damage is done to any church or anyone is injured on this matter, the governor of Kwara State will be held responsible."
Yeah, it's high time we started seeing some changes here. So
exactly.
I see this as a right move, towards the right direction, to make people accountable for things.
Exactly.
So if this is done and the governor sees this as a way to intervene and bring this to, then
he
we
should
all
have
needed
intervened
to
the whole
stop.
time, because we do know that we all Nigerians, and we know that issue of religion is a very sensitive issue in Nigeria, because we're very religious people and everybody wants to protect, hold on to their beliefs. So I think that's why we still have the waver between, you're allowed to wear it, you can't allow to wear it, we don't allow that.
So we're hoping something is done about this as soon as possible.
They have to meet in the middle, and we're hoping that that middle ground is found really soon.
All right, we move on to, the issue of fuel scarcity. The Northwest Zonal Office of the Department of Petroleum Resources, Kaduna, on Thursday, warned erring independent oil marketers against under-dispensing, hoarding or selling petrol above the government-approved regulated pump price of 165 naira per litre in the zone. The zone comprises states including Kaduna, Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, Sokoto and Zamfara State. The Zonal Operations Controller, Kaduna Ahmed Shakur, who handed down the warning at a press conference in Kaduna on Thursday, added that defaulting oil marketer risked sanction. Shakur insisted that the current fuel scarcity situation in Kaduna was as a result of panic buying by motorists in the state. The DPR boss said, "We are in a regulated regime. However, there is an approved price of premium motor spirit as PMS, and that is why our men are out since Monday to ensure compliance with the approved government price. And the second thing we are after approved the variation of 8.649 billion naira in favor of Niger construction." Also, Health Minister Dr. Osagi Ehanire expressed that the council approved 3.3 billion naira for 6 contracts of laboratory equipment on behalf of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control.
Well, I am more interested in the money allocated, for health,
the health sector,
and then building laboratory equipment, getting laboratory equipment, and building laboratories across the country. Then I'm interested,
because
in
health
money
is wealth,
allocated for road construction.
Health is priority.
Aside from
for me.
Health being priority for me, my worry when they say they're making roads is that the first question that comes to mind is, I hope in the next 10 years or 5 years
we wouldn't
have to actually reconstruct these roads, because you allocate billions of naira for road construction, and
At the
then
end of the day,
at the end of the day,
question
the roads don't
quality.
even last, that long, and we have to like have in another 10 years reconstructing the road or having to worry about potholes or stuff like that. So I'm not, quite interested in that one, but like it's a good call to say, look, we want to make laboratories across the country, because primary health care is very, very important. I mean, health is, for me, health is the front line, the baseline for anything
everything.
else. Exactly. So if we're thinking that we need to fully equip or further equip our primary health care centers, or build primary health care centers, way to
That's
go.
fantastic.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Talking about health, it's about that time where we go on a break to bring you COVID-19 updates from across Africa. Okay, back. That was COVID-19 update from across Africa. The numbers are from the Africa Center for Disease Control, Africa CDC. And as you have seen the numbers, we still have over 4.6 total cases. And then, well, I did like the recovery numbers, of recovery cases, over 3.6 million recoveries. But the number of deaths, we still have like 108,000 people dead from COVID-19, and I feel like I say this all the time, but still I'm going to keep saying it.
Of course.
I'm still I'm going to keep saying it. Take precaution, because we have to beat COVID in 2021. Not even like in December 2021. Before the next quarter of 2021, we have to start seeing drastic reduction in the number of active cases and in the number of deaths from COVID-19. So get vaccinated, take precautions, do everything necessary to ensure that we beat COVID this year. We don't have to take COVID to 2022 rather. That's the much I'm going to say about that one. All right, we're going to go on a break, and when we come back, we'll be taking you through newspaper headlines for this morning.
TOS TV Network mobile app is now available. You can now catch up on our breaking news, stream our programs live, watch out for the latest update on sports and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our TOS TV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. TOS TV News from Africa by Africans.
Being a journalist means in-depth analysis that unravels hidden truths, that question the status quo and fact-checks government.
These criminal elements hiding under the cloak of surveillance contractors are the APC elements.
Do you have facts to prove that? Being a journalist means waking up every day with a burning desire for peace, equity, and justice for all citizens.
We're being told that the choice you have is to take the lesser of two evils.
It means patriotism via the prism of objectivity and accountability. It means giving my platform to the masses to discuss issues that matter to them.
Some of them, if they bring budget, and the budget they look. Some of them sleep. They're going to ask how much you are on. I have it.
Thereby shaping government policies and laws. My name is Osasu Igbenegbu, and I am the People's Journalist.
Conversation on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television, and it's that time where we'll bring to you headlines across some major national dailies in the country. We begin with Blueprint, and from the very top, Imo North as parties await Supreme Court High Court declares Arurume winner. That can be found on page 9 of the blueprint. And underneath that story, we see doctors begin third nationwide strike in 9 months. That can be found on page 8 of the blueprint. And we can see a picture of Aisha just here. After 6 months in Dubai, Aisha Buhari returns to Nigeria. That's the first lady. The story can be found on page 7. And just before that, we see Nigeria requires $2.3 trillion to bridge infrastructure gap, coming from Osinbajo, the vice president of the country. And we move on to the very obvious headline on the paper. Buhari's alarm on insecurity, illegal arms inflow defied Nigeria's border closure. And the writer underneath that says unstable Libya remains problem to Sahel region. And the second one is Misari knocks Gumi over negotiations with gunmen. That big story can be found on page 6 of the blueprint. And underneath the picture of the day, bandits strike in Kaduna, Zamfara, Sokoto state. That's coming in northern Nigeria. The writer under that says police kill 2 gunmen, lose 1, student, pastor, others abducted. Now, side by side is parents, students protest abduction of 39, 14 suspects paraded. Parents, student protest abduction of 39, while 14 suspects paraded. That story can be found on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper.
This is beginning to look like a norm. I feel like it's going to get to a point where we're going to hear news of kidnappings and abduction, and then we're just going to look past it like that happens every day. And it would be so sad if we actually get to that point where people get used to hearing such stories. I don't think we'll ever get tired of calling on the government of the day to do something immediately about the abductions and the kidnappings and the banditry in the north. These are children getting kidnapped. It's very disheartening. And another disheartening story I saw there on the Blueprint newspaper is the one about doctors going on strike for the 3rd time in 9 months. I don't know. I know there's been a back and forth as to salaries and monies that are supposed to be paid, but it's a time where we have health emergencies across the world, and not just in Nigeria. And we've always clamored for improvement in the health sector in Nigeria, and then we now have government and doctors going on strike at a time that is sensitive time as
where
now.
We need them the most.
Where we need them the most. It's quite sad because we're going to be at the end. And we're going to be at the receiving end of it. We're clamoring for reduction in the number of deaths from COVID-19 and COVID-related deaths, and then we're having to see doctors go on strike. What do you think is going to happen?
The priority for me in all of this is protection of lives.
Exactly.
That concerns health.
Yes.
That concerns insecurity as well.
Exactly.
So for me, every other thing comes secondary. So coming every day to talk about one, abduction, killing, kidnapping or the other is disheartening. It's very sad. I think something should be done about this as soon as possible.
All right, moving over from the Blueprint newspaper to the national economy, starting from the very top, where CBN said CBN's intervention in Greek power SMEs gobs 4.2 trillion naira. And under that, debtors repaid 1.16 trillion naira as 3.07 trillion naira remains outstanding. That's coming from CBN's corner. And then the very gaping headline there is in relation to underinvestment, and it says Nigeria's oil production output may decline by 200,000 barrels per day. That is the very gaping headline on the national economy. Then underneath the picture of the day, PPP way out of infrastructural deficits. That's coming from the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. That story is on page 8. And then the last headline on the national economy this morning, active internet subscribers increased to 154.3 million. That story is on page 5 of the national economy.
All right, we go on to the Daily Trust daily, and we'll begin from the very top as well. The first story to the left, Aisha Buhari returns to Nigeria after 6 months in Dubai. We've seen the story again, can be found on page 4 of the Daily Trust. And just besides that, gunmen kill 4 naval officers, 3 policemen in Anambra. That can be found on page 6 also. And just next to it is federal government launches $890 million health grant. That can be found on page 46 of the Daily Trust. And we move over to the very gaping headline on the Daily Trust newspaper. AU, Nigeria back WHO on use of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. And the writers say federal government expects 16 million more doses in weeks. Vaccine in all states except Kogi. Kanu dismisses vaccine boycott. All this can be found on page 5 of the Daily Trust. And we go over to just underneath the picture of the day, the very obvious, minute headline there, very important headline as well. Out of school children rise by 3 million in 3 months. That can be found on page 4. What do you have? What's your take on this particular headline?
It's expected. I'm not surprised by it. I think on the show, was it yesterday I said that we're going to have like a huge number of out of school children. Because aside the fact that, this is definitely an offshoot of the kidnappings and the banditry that has been happening in the Northeast. We had quite a number of out of school children in the Northeast before. We're trying to deal with it, trying to put them back in school. But having to have cases of school children being kidnapped, there's a ripple effect. It's going to be parents allowing the children to go to school because of fear of having them kidnapped or abducted. And they're also going to be the pupils even saying they don't want to go to school because of all of that stuff. So it's always going to be. I was expecting it, maybe not that huge number, 3 million out of school children in 3 months. That's very huge and that's very drastic. It's very fast, but I expected us to have way more number of out of school children, in the past few months that we've been having to see all of those banditry.
I kind of have some sort of back-end concerning this story. I think it's better we have out of school children than children being kidnapped. Because if you think about it from that perspective, if I was a parent and I resided in northern Nigeria, I would not want my kids to go to, especially when the issue of insecurity has not been properly dealt with. We had the cabinet being changed, tactics and strategies being changed, but still, we still come to say numbers. So who knows what school is next? Yeah, exactly. What school is next? What environment is next? What community? What northern state is next? So that's just the proper thing to do.
Yes, this is not it. I think generally, this is even generally in Nigeria, because we have more in the north, but I think even some states in the southwest and even the east are beginning to look, you guys should stay at home because we don't know what's going to happen next and all of that stuff. So yeah,
and that's very sad.
But I heard because education is paramount, and then we've been advocating for more children in school by 2030, and I think a lot needs to be done so children can be safe to go to school. Even teachers can be safe to want to actually even go to school to teach these children.
And
because
they have to be
now
as well.
It's not even just the children that are getting kidnapped, even their teachers are being picked up. Yeah, so that's that about that. Moving over to the Daily Times newspaper, starting from the very top as well. Border closure failed to stop illegal inflow of arms. That's coming from President Buhari lamenting there, saying illegal inflow of arms was closing the border hasn't done anything to arms being illegally imported into the country. And then moving over to the very gaping headline there says NDLEA seizes 60 billion naira illicit drugs. That is on page 2 of the Daily Times. And then the picture of the day talking about insecurity. This is students of the Federal College of Forestry in Afaka, protesting peacefully over the kidnapping of their schoolmates somewhere in Kaduna State. Under that, court bars EFCC from arresting Ozekome for criticizing Magu. That story is on page 2. And then this one is on forgery. Court of Appeal dismisses APC's certificate forgery suit against Obaseki. That's also on page 2. And then on page 3, this is arms scandal. PDP flays federal government. APC alleges fresh $2.5 billion arms scandal. All of those stories are, on or inside the Daily Times newspaper. Just get yourself a copy.
All right, moving over to the Leadership newspaper, I'll begin from the very top as well. DPR generated 2 trillion naira in 2020, says Awalu. That can be found on page 19. And just besides that, we see we don't need Asari Dokubos Biafra. That is coming from Pandev Ohaneze. And that can be found on page 6. And just side by side talking about health, AstraZeneca vaccine safe, governors insist. That can be found on page 9 of the Leadership newspaper. And moving over to the very obvious, headline there, military takes over airport security in northern state. I don't think if it's good or bad. Just the writers underneath, it says President Muhammadu Buhari blames Libya crisis for influx of illegal arms. And next there's Nigeria police, Afripol Interpol joined forces against illegal arms dealers. And then the very last story, just have a sad picture of the day, says UTME 1.6 million failed to secure admission in 2 years. And the rider underneath says vice chancellors, others seek better funding.
That's one story I would like to look into. I'm trying to understand why they couldn't get admission. Is it because the scores are low, or because we had too many people trying to get tertiary education, and then there's always a accepted number per university. So I'm trying to understand. I think that's one story I'm interested in. And then another one is when you read the AstraZeneca story where the governors are insisting that it is safe, my reaction to that was, Nigerians are so very untrusting. It's as though, why do they have to continually, prove to us that, look, it is safe, just take it. It is safe, just take it.
It's just like a reminder. So, yeah.
I think we're just very distrusting.
Very, actually. Especially going with the issue, going around in Europe and, halting of some vaccination procedures. Though some countries have resumed because, they found it to be efficient and, very, very safe. But then again, Nigerians, as we always say, will always still be in that space where, is it okay, is it not,
exactly.
It's better I do not.
Even when you show them that, look, I have taken it, they say, they'll be like, let me watch it for like a
that constant reminder is very important.
Exactly.
Very, very important.
That's why I said a lot of sensitization has to be done, in regards to, proving that the COVID-19 vaccine is safe to be, taken by Nigerians. All right, that's the most you can take on the newspaper headlines this morning. We're going to go on a break, and when we come back, I will be taking you through what's trending on social media. Do stay with us. Welcome back. It's my favorite segment of the conversation. That's the segment where I get to take you through what's trending on social media. What are people talking about? What have they been talking about in the last 24 hours on social media? And guess what they've been talking about? So, Yoruba activist Sunday Adeyemo, that's Sunday Igboho, the guy who went, viral during the Fulani herdsmen crisis in Oyo State, was it Oyo State or Osun State? Well, he has declared the Yoruba nation, claiming that southwestern states are no longer a part of Nigeria. And this has sparked lots of reaction on social media. So I'm going to bring you a video, after which I'm going to read out, some of the tweets in regards to, this development.
Kí ló dé sẹ́rù ni wá ní àṣàyẹ wá àwọn olórí lásìyàn adẹ̀lá àṣẹmọ́ tí káwa ní Èkó ń bí àbábá gbogbo àwọn tí sọ lórí bẹ́ẹ̀ Fúlàní ni wọ́n àfẹ́ wọn mọ́ pọ́ọ̀tì wa dáa ní pọ́ọ̀tì méjèèjì Fúlàní ní kọ̀ntró wa ń bẹ̀ àfẹ́ wọn mọ́ gbogbo airport wa ń bẹ̀ yẹn Fúlàní ní sọ lórí bẹ́ẹ̀ àfẹ́ wọn mọ́ sẹ̀mẹ̀bọ́dà àfẹ́ Fúlàní bẹ̀ mọ́ láti sísí lọ tí bàbá bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ tán àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kẹfẹ́ tá a ṣe mítì á lọ sí gbogbo bọ́dà wa lẹ̀. Láìsí ó lè mọ wọlé, oúnjẹ ó lè mọ wọlé, gbogbo ó lè mọ wọlé nínú ẹlẹ́kùnsẹ́ náà. Ó ti tó gẹ́ gbogbo bọ́dà wa tí ìjọba Nàìjíríà láwọn tì. À ń sọ fún ọ pé àṣìlábẹ́ ọmọ báyìí, á lọ sí gbogbo ẹlẹ́ láti sí ìlọ fúnra wa. Gbogbo ń tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe fún wa, àwa mẹ́ti rẹ́dì fún yín. Mo ń gba ẹnu gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀ ni o. Àwọn kan lè máa sọ pé ẹnu Yorùbá kò, ẹnu wa kò. ẹ má fọkàn sí o tẹ bá fẹ́ mọ̀ pé ẹnu wa kò ẹ̀yẹ ẹ̀fọ́ kan nìkan ẹ mọ̀ pé gbogbo àwọn ọba pátápátá níbẹ̀ lẹ́yìn wa ọba tó bá kọ̀ sí lẹ́yìn wa kọ́ lọ ṣe fídíò kárí kò ní mọ́júmọ́. ẹ̀fọ́ jẹ́ ìmọ̀ràn mi fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ilẹ̀ Haúsá ni wípé ilé ti tó lọ ẹ máa bọ̀ nílé o ẹ máa bọ̀ nílé o ẹ máa bọ̀ nílé o à ń gbà yín nímọ̀ràn ẹ máa gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ti bẹ nílẹ̀ Haúsá ẹ máa bọ̀ nílé ìyà tí ń jẹ wá yìí ti tó o gbogbo àwa Yorùbá ẹ má jà bára wa jà ẹja ṣera wa lọ́kan àsìkò ti tó ilé ti yá ẹja ṣera wa lọ́kan ó sì jẹ́ alàgbà Sunday Adéyẹmọ alias Sunday Igboho.
Well, that was Sunday Igboho right there, passionately, agitating for the Yoruba nation. And so quite a number of Nigerians have said, quite a number on social media. I'm going to take out some of those tweets, or read out some of those tweets. Gozi Konsi, that's at Gozi Konsi, says, Sunday Igboho said all Yorubas living in the north should come back home with immediate effect. Nnamdi Kanu said all Igbos living in the north should come back home with immediate effect. While their families are US and UK citizens, mad people everywhere. And then this one, Bad Master Kim says, Yoruba nation is not by mouth sha. Most of the people Sunday Igboho think are behind him will disenchant him when push comes to shove. And then Ososa Chris says, Sunday Igboho declares Yoruba self-rule and threatened to open Nigeria's border around the southwest. What a cheap target for the military bullets. And then the last one is by The Only One Acre. And then he or she says, this declaration by Sunday Igboho for a Yoruba nation is sitting right inside the political agenda. I know one when I see one, and of course the actors are the unusual suspects. Quite interesting. It's been over time we've been worried about the independent people of Biafra, trying to agitate for, an independent nation, like saying, look, the Igbos we don't want to be a part of Nigeria anymore. And then this is Sunday, just out of the blue saying, look, we want a Yoruba nation. Southwest Nigeria is no longer part of Nigeria. We want our people to come home and want to create our own country. What does this say about, in your personal opinion, what does this say about, the unity of a country, Nigeria? What does this say?
I really want to agree with a lot of Nigerians. You see, the issue of the, sectorization of the country, being Igbo, Yoruba, and northern part, it has been on the front burner for a while, the independent people of Biafra, agitating for their own country. But that has remained as a topic to be discussed. If you can see like what has happened so far, that has only remained as a topic. People will come out, and that generated a lot of reactions. Now, this is different. A lot of people are not support. If you check the statistics, some people are saying, oh, this is a political agenda, this is something. Most people are saying, look, if they could not do it with the Igbos, why is the Yorubas different?
But another thing is, like somebody said, it will take time. It only takes time. It only takes time for you to convince a number of people that, look, we can have our own nation, like we don't have to be part of the Nigerian country. But like one person said, like one of those tweets said, look, why does everyone that keep agitating for separation of the country have their families outside of the country? Why don't you bring your families here and then create all of those things here? And
people have failed to realize that this country is for everyone.
Exactly.
Peace and unity is what summarizes our national anthem, and they have to realize that individually we come together to make up a country. A country is not one people. They should go and check the statistics everywhere. Different people make up a country. So this constant agitation for that's my take personally. Like it's uncalled for. If things are not working, let's come together to find a lasting solution to problems, so things can work for everyone.
All right, that's the much you can take on the trending on social media segment, but would like to get your reaction. Drop comments, let us know what you think across our social media platform, TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also on YouTube as well. And you can check out our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. All right, we're going to go on a break now, and when we come back, it's that time where we bring you the big story.
North to South Africa, East to West Africa, TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Watch us on television, channel 138 on TSTV Africa. North to South Africa,
Everything has changed nowadays. Funny how we can't even play no more. It was only yesterday when we party every day. Now it's blood on the dance floor. All because of the virus. But it can't kill the power inside us to stand together and defeat Corona.
أنا وياك البارح كنا هانيين قرهانيا. Bad things are changing. لكل قلب نرد شوية. نخرجوا إن شاء الله. نعيشوا إن شاء الله. Cause nobody is safe until everybody's safe. Tuamini la lolita kuisha. Na tena tutalishinda tu. Tupambane hii vita. Tumshinde COVID-19. Tuna kila sababu ya kuwajali wengine. Tafadhali tujilinde, tuwalinde, tuamue sasa.
One day my people, one day we'll be celebrating. Cause this plague is over. Nothing will be separating us. Cause nobody is safe until everybody is safe. Oh, everybody is safe. Oh.
Rain no go fall forever. Sun goes to shine, my sister. We go beat Corona if we stand together. If we stand in solidarity, we no go fit to fall down, fall down.
Yeah, me I like that.
Me, I like you and I know you like me too. Me, I love you and I know you love me too. We gonna spread the word and not divide us so. Nobody is safe until everybody is safe. Oh, me, I want to be safe. Oh, eh, oh. Oh, boy, me bush and cheese. Feels like we lost me. We'll pick up the pieces, start over. All the tears will be all over. Can you mean it will be much closer? For now we scream and shout. One day my people, one day we'll be celebrating. Cause this plague is over. Nothing will be separating us. Nobody is safe until everybody is safe.
Everybody is safe. One day my people, one day we'll be celebrating. Cause this plague is over. Nothing will be separating us. Nobody is safe until everybody is safe. Everybody is safe.
Je passe un gros big up à tous ceux qui font le taf. Dans les hôpitaux, la tristesse sous les masques. Mister Coro nous a piqué dans la face. On a tous peur, quoi qu'on dise, quoi qu'on fasse. On va gagner, gagner, gagner. À nous la victoire, notre histoire, elle va changer. Tous les jours, les soirs, c'est la messe. Frérot, tu sais, Coro nous a tous mis dans la S.
Mothers are kings and fathers are queens. You reign in your quest for the truth and strive in your sleep. The people in your past can relate. Your victory great. I saw you on the shits in your graves. Your fathers relate. Many cries now, but they never beat the sunrise. Swinging in your fight, and we waiting for your come right. Your faith gon' heal you. Heaven gon' keep you. I'm praying that the sun never leaves you. I feel you here.
Ei, se não nos unirmos agora, tudo que construímos Construímos outrora, destruímos agora. É melhor nos munirmos agora. O futuro das crianças decidimos agora. Covid não escolhe cor, somos todos alvos. Enquanto não tivermos todos, ninguém tá salvo. A mensagem é básica, para não mudarmos o nome da Mama África para Mama Lágrima.
One day, my people, one day we'll be celebrating, cause this plague is over. Nothing will be separating us, cause nobody is safe until everybody is safe. Oh, everybody is safe. Oh. One day, my people, one day we'll be celebrating, cause this plague is over. Nothing will be separating us, cause nobody is safe until everybody is safe. Oh, everybody is safe. Oh. One day, my people, one day we'll be celebrating, cause this plague is over.
You're welcome back. It's still the conversation on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. And then we are in that major segment, the main crux of the show, which is the big story. Now, today we're talking about entertainment. It's Friday, and the relation between, entertainment and COVID-19. You say Nigeria's entertainment industry have had to get creative and safe, with staying productive since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has seen to, halt many economic activities, and in the industry, especially the comedy industry, well, of course, we were talking about today. Today, we're joined by an Abuja-based Nigerian comedian and MC, Mazi Prosper, to look at how COVID-19 has affected his industry and what coping mechanism is being put in place to keep the industry going forward. Mazi Prosper, good morning. You're welcome to the show.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good to
Fine,
have
I'm
you.
good. Me too.
I like the way you're, chilling.
Yeah, because
it's being comfortable.
Yeah, you don't like anything to disturb your life, man.
So, Mazi, can I call you Mazi?
Yeah, Mazi Prosper.
That's fine. So, what has been the situation of your job, since the COVID-19 pandemic hit?
Okay, I think the people that suffer the most is when you are not known before the COVID-19.
Oh.
If you have your audience already and you have your clients, during the time of COVID-19, people still celebrate birthdays, but we do that on Zoom, online. So your client will always call you to come up online and anchor the event.
Oh.
Then some of us were not used to online anchoring. So you struggle a little bit, but it get to a stage, it became a normal thing. So we even wished we were online because you keep doing something, come back, do other things, you are anchoring an event, and you are doing something else at the same time.
Multitasking.
Yes, in fact, I've done 2 events at the same time before, online and live event.
You're doing this side by side?
Yes.
How did that work?
I set up a camera in a particular area with my mic. So I call for an event where we're having live. While they're doing that activity, I go back and coordinate this one. I give them activity, I come back, I do this one.
Wow.
That must have been quite interesting. But let's go back to, how the COVID affected, the comedy industry in Nigeria, especially in Abuja. Because I know Abuja was starting to, thrive. The Abuja comedy scene was starting to thrive, and then COVID hit. So what coping mechanism would you say you, as a comedian, had to adopt, and maybe something that cuts across all comedians as well? What coping mechanism did you have to adopt?
Okay, well, what I did was I went back to my TV program, my online TV program, then build up my audience again. Then one other thing I do is that I always have time to communicate with my clients.
Okay.
Once I have their numbers, they will keep in touch. Then we always have house parties.
Okay.
Then I invented an idea. I did that with my friend, Choose the General.
Okay.
What we do is that we pick up any of our clients and ask them, when is your wife's birthday? Or when is your husband's birthday? They tell us, we'll make up a birthday. So instead of staying line follow, you are creating activity to keep your business going and you're moving.
So you had to be creative.
You have to be creative.
It prompted you to
yes,
be creative.
yes, to be in the business.
Okay.
But for Abuja generally, like I said, a lot of people jump into the comedy industry and our MC work just because they feel they can talk.
Yeah.
There's a lot behind that talking thing. You have to be creative. It's when people see that you're creative, they keep the business on. But if you just come and do the normal MC.
Okay, but how long did it take you to be able to adapt to, you know, the situation on ground? Because I know that even though I was going to work at the time, because I work in the media, so I couldn't really break. But it's because I was also, you know, hosting events as well. But I couldn't do that like for the longest time possible. And it took me a while to be able to, you know, adapt into that and say, look, this is going to happen for the time. Yeah. So for you now that you are the creative, you're always, you know, at the forefront. How long did it take for you to adapt?
My sister. It took me almost 4 to 5 months.
Really?
Yes. It wasn't easy. And we almost finished what we kept. And like we yapped ourselves online, we said, initially when they started the COVID-19, we said, I'll give away helping friends. It got to a stage, the people you're helping started calling, they can now receive a help from you also, you know. So initially it wasn't that okay, but after some time, just like what we normally say, Nigerian proverb, that when hunger beats you, you go create something else. So the hunger came, creativity had to come out.
Okay.
Yeah, so
did you jump on the train of people that had to start creating, you know, skates and all that online just to, you know, get into all that?
What I did a lot of challenges. Okay. I did a car bike challenge. I did a dance challenge. I sang, even though people didn't understand I wasn't the one singing. Oh. Yes. I was playing keyboard. They've already played the keyboard already. So I was just, you know, I was just doing some things just to keep myself happy.
Okay.
What does this speak on, you know, other comedians in Nigeria, especially in Abuja? You know, you've spoken about diversifying. Do comedians diversify? Because from what you've said, the pandemic hit and people had to make other alternatives work for them. So do you think across the board, all the comedians, you know, have stayed on the top through the diversification?
Yeah, those that diversified, I would say were like, 30-70. The ones that diversified was around 30%. And the 70% still remains, I'm looking for an MC work to do. If they call me, I do. If they don't. Because you know, one thing with creativity, if you don't create time for it, you can't. I do one thing I always say to young people who are into comedy industry, who comes to me as their mentor. I tell them, I said, how many hours do you give to your comedy every day if you don't have a job? Every day I speak to myself for 2 hours.
You have to practice?
Yes.
As a comedian?
Yes.
So it doesn't come naturally?
No, it comes natural. But this, if you think that you just want to remain on spontaneity, you may fail someday. Now the way to keep your track is that every day I spend 2 hours, sometimes an hour. I have new jokes. I repeat this joke until the joke becomes part of me. So when I come on stage, I'm not struggling. This is when people say, I went blank. I don't.
So you've never had a...
I don't think. I don't want to lie. I don't think.
Okay.
So when I'm on stage, but I've had it from in the previous time. So that's why I have to create out those. This is my 19th year of doing it.
19?
19.
Wow.
You have to crack a joke.
That's a long time.
I mean, 19 years.
Both here, I've hosted my event both in the US and in Sierra Leone 3 times.
Wow.
US and the rest of other places.
Wow. That's quite amazing. Yeah. But personally, what is it now for you? Let me look at it personally. What is it now for you? I know events are beginning to come back, you know, maybe not on the full scale that it was before, but it's come back. So you're having to move from, you know, saying the whole creative thing that you were doing behind the scene and coming back on it. How is it for you now?
No, it's good because, like I said earlier on, that as long as you have the right people. Okay, let me chip in this. I don't hide this identity. As long as you believe that God is with you, things work. Okay. Because whether you like it or not, until God breathes on your talent, nothing happens. Yeah, so that God factor really helped me. Right now, I'm planning for another one in Easter Sunday, where people come and laugh at Sheraton Hotel. You know, people come and laugh and do all the rest of them. I've always kept the game going. That's the truth of the matter. What I did now was just to recoup. Instead of using like 4 horses that I normally do, I'm using 2 or 1. I'm just thinking of whether to use 1 or 2. But the response I'm getting now is like we're going to open up to the next hall.
So now, what does that speak now? Just to get in clear terms here, what was before the COVID-19 and what is now? Like, would you say there was like an increase in terms of economic inflow of resources and how you were able to, you know, you're able to generate money? Is this better than it was before, or can you just share?
The before is better, sir. Because now people would, you know what people started telling us initially? when things started opening up, they tell him, Master Prosper, how much do you take? You call your amount. Wow. How much? But the people were not expecting too many crowd now. It's just 50, 70%.
Yeah.
What will you call that amount of money?
Yeah.
And the money asks them, is it the crowd that make us to charge? It's my gift you are paying for. It's my service. If you like bring 2 people, I will charge you. Because you are calling for my service. That hour you are going to keep me. I know one thing with Nigeria, why our job is at disadvantage is that Nigerians don't keep to time.
Yeah, it's true.
Nigeria will tell you, our event start by 5 to 7. We're done. 5 to 7, please book us down. When you book them down for 5 to 7, you can't take any other job because Nigerians love African time. By 4:30, you are at the venue. 5 o'clock, you won't see anybody. 5:15 to 6, 7 o'clock, you see people coming in gradually.
Small.
So your 7 o'clock, your 2 hours has gone and they're not going to the phone anymore.
So with all this, don't you think people, especially comedians in the entertainment industry, should get more creative and leverage on this whole being creative, working with different things to get money? Because from what you said, it was better before now. But believe me when I say this, some people have gotten their wealth from within this pandemic.
Yes.
So don't you think people should welcome the idea of diversification, creativity, and doing things that are out of the box?
Yes, I think that's the right thing to do now, because if I tell you the truth, the whole money now is online. Your name again? Adesua. And you?
Merciful.
Do you know that if you want to catch, Adesua have what they call commercial face?
Me, I don't have.
Wait, let me tell you what you have.
Let's understand.
Wait, let me tell you what you have. You have commercial look. Are you getting me?
Okay.
The moment you and Adesua picks up an argumentative skit, I'm telling you, you'll be shocked by the way the view will go up, but not because of him, but because of her face.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is that
he's beefing me.
Yes,
now.
what I'm saying is that you are still a handsome guy, but this one covers your handsome and everything. People want to see fair people.
We'll see after the show. We'll continue the discussion after the show.
But what is it though? Like if I'm going to ask you, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the time where you had to just do everything from online? You said it was comfortable for you to do that. It was very comfortable. You still do that and you still got paid for it. Okay. Do you prefer that time, or do you prefer now that you have to be there live and your crowd and your audience feel everything? Which one do you prefer?
Okay, we prefer now, because one thing with comedy is that we enjoy seeing our crowd laugh back at us when we speak. They respond back.
So you like the feedback?
Yes, feedback is better. We don't online. People will laugh. I know sometimes online, if it's Zoom birthdays or weddings, they mute every other person.
Oh yeah.
But so you just see people laughing, but you don't
cannot
feel
hear it exactly.
So you don't even know what is triggering. Sometimes you hear people's comment, you pick from that comment and do something again. But this time I don't do that online. So we prefer the audience.
Yeah, true. Because you have to leverage for effective communication to take place. There have to be feedback.
Yes.
So and as comedians, you work with feedback. You're getting.
Yes.
Now going forward, what do you think has to be done in terms of this feedback that you spoke about? When within the online presence for comedians and event hosts going forward?
Okay, I think the only thing they will do, a lot of people have started that, people like the basket now, is that they make it open. They get what we do now online comedy is that you get few people, you get a hall like this, fix it up, get your cameraman, do everything, and get like 20 audience to sit down. Then when you're cracking the joke, it's online also, people are watching online. You're using the feedback in the studio.
Okay.
What if they don't laugh?
I was going to ask you that.
You are finished.
I was going to ask you that question. I've never had a time where you cracked it and nobody in the audience laughed. Have you ever had that time?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to lie.
You don't remember?
If you call other comedians and ask them about Mazi Prosper, they'll tell you some things about me. Sometimes they ask if Mazi Prosper uses jazz. No, that's the truth.
Okay.
No matter. That's why I talk about the God factor. There's one scripture I always quote, and that is in Romans, that God says He has given us a mouth and a wisdom. None of our adversaries will gainsay nor resist. Anytime I quote that scripture behind the stage, I come up on stage. No matter how tough, I always say this. Even if devil and demons sit, they will laugh.
Because
the moment I climb, they will laugh.
There's always the speculation that Abuja audiences, audience are always laid back.
You don't know Abuja audience. You know what they did to? You know what they did to Casey in this last Choose general event? This is what Abuja audience does to artists. Before now, they will be dancing to your song. Hey, Casey, don't kill us. Hey, the moment you appear on stage, they bring you live to perform. They will leave you and leave the stage.
But why though? Why do you think there's that gap? Because people have said there's even all over the internet have tweeted about it. In Lagos State, people are open. But Abuja, there's this laid backness. There's this
fake life is too much. People will pay 1 million naira and sit on the table. They'll come and phone and be looking at you as if they are examining you, as if they are auditioning you. They'll be looking at you like they're thinking, who is the funniest comedian? But the moment you break even with Abuja comedian and with Abuja audience, that's what I'm telling you. The business here is different from Lagos. Lagos people are rushing to Abuja to come and get job and client. The moment you break even into Abuja business, you see your own, you are gone.
You made mention of something. You said you've worked outside the country.
Yeah.
Have you interacted with other African comedians?
Yes.
And what's your view on how
what's it like compared to Nigeria?
You see, no, we are their king. We are king. No, anywhere. They respect and love Nigerian act. Do you know why? Nigerians are natural. Like, if you sit with an American comedian, the way they talk, apart from, except you're an American,
you wouldn't get it.
A natural black man will be struggling to try to get the picture of what he's saying. But if a Nigerian comes up on stage, we know how to relate with, because we travel, they don't travel. Americans don't travel like we do. Nigerians, we travel here. Now, Nigerians relate. When we're on stage, if anytime in the US I'm doing an event, we compare Nigerian activities and how we're trained with those in America. We study them.
Let's talk about African comedians here. You know, Kenya, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and every other country. Have you had some sort of interaction with
yes,
their
like when I did something in Sierra Leone and Gabon, we met with their comedians. But what I'm telling you is that Nigerians are good. They are good in their own way. But when a Nigerian is climbing the stage, if they call a Nigerian, the kind of aviation you get, it's not like them.
Okay.
Yes, Nigerians have this. They just expect. They are expecting more from us than any other person.
Okay.
And we always deliver. I'm telling you the truth. Nigerians deliver.
All right. Wow. Before we let you go, we're really out of time. But before we let you go, let me quickly ask, what is it for you? Like, what's it going to be from here onward? And especially, you know, at a time where we can now fully open and we can now fully travel, what is it going to be for Mazi Prosper?
Okay, for me, like I said, I'm already cooking up different things for myself and for my organization, for my brand. So we're working on our what do you call it? Our stage performance. I'm working on my stage. You know, I started acting before I went into comedy.
Oh, okay.
I act very well.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we're doing our stage play in August.
Okay.
At Sheraton Hotel too.
Okay. We're invited, right?
Yes. Even this coming one, you guys will be there.
Okay.
So you know, I don't know if you watch Talaperi shows.
Yes.
Those stage, that's how it's going to be.
Oh, and
we're investing that in August. So we've done something of that in the past, but this time I'm bringing that in full force.
Okay.
So sorry, just the last question.
Okay, we're out of time.
From your view, like, what is the comedy industry for Nigeria looking like? Like, what is it going forward? We have a lot of people in comedy. A lot of people have stood there. They have remained on top. Some people are struggling. What do you think? There are a lot of creative people, if you say. But what do you think the comedy industry looks like going forward for Nigeria? Okay, see, the business is lucrative, but is they call it survival of the fittest. Now, as long as you are original, you break even, no matter how long it will take. Some of the comedians will tell you, I don't want the popularity, I just need my money. Because a lot of comedians are popular. If you go to Lagos, you will laugh. A lot of comedians, you hear their name everywhere. They are still squatting.
Yeah.
So that life, Abuja comedians are trying. You will see Abuja small comedian like this, he even have a house. At least he lives in Pape, or he lives, but they are on their own. But in Lagos, the fake life is too much. Abuja fake life is that we brand ourselves too much. Lagos fake life is that they give you a picture that they are not.
Okay.
Yeah.
But before we go, we have a comedian in the house, so you have to do something for us, right? So we want to laugh. Okay. We don't have a bell. I don't have a bell for your drum roll. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. This is what I'm going to do. Everybody be careful because you're going to laugh. I'm sure you're going to laugh, and people are laughing already. Now, this is one of my experiences when I was growing up as a child. They asked me what I want to be in future because I attended Mayanka LEA school. I don't know how many of you know what they call Mayanka LEA, all those LEA schools in the local area. So I was asked what I want to be in future because the principal told my teacher, if your student improve, we're going to promote you and increase your salary. That really touched my teacher. She came to the class and begged everyone, if you make me proud, my salary I will share it with people. So we had that share. We started rehearsing 2 times table, thinking that the principal will come with that question. But he came that morning and said, I heard that you people have covered your syllabus. We said, yes, sir, but we don't know what the syllabus. Just because they begged us that anything they say, we should say yes. So we said, we have covered it. The principal said, that is good. He said, they told us you have covered it. He said, well, I'm going to ask a random question. The student said, sir, ask. But where the problem started was when they asked me for you. Stand up. I stood up. When my auntie saw me, she started crying because she know her downfall has come. They said, what is your name? I said, my name is Prosper. They said, okay, Prosper. What do you want to be in future? I said, I want to be a medical student, a doctor. The principal was shocked. He said, in this school, we can still produce a doctor? He said, that means you should be familiar with integrated science. I said, yes, sir. Meanwhile, they didn't teach us, but I have to help the woman. The man now said, what do you breathe in when you breathe out carbon dioxide? I told him it's carbon dioxide. That is when they know there's a problem. They then asked my classmate, you, what's your name? Amina. Amina, what do you want to be in future? Amina said, I want to be a linguistic student and a newscaster. Please was from where? I said, from Meduguri. I said, okay. Amina, make a sentence, we go. Amina said, now or later. Principal said, now. Amina said, to wakenang. I said, and you go? I said, hey. Chile. They say, do English, not Hausa. I say, okay, uncle. You say, make a sentence, we go? They say, yes. He said, to. They go market. Principal said, come on, correct the English. Say, okay, and then they go again. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, that was really hilarious. I mean,
I'm actually crying.
Yeah, you are a creative comedian. I think you get a t-shirt for you at this one. So
I'm serious, I'm crying.
I'm sorry. I didn't know actually crying. I'm so sorry. No, but to all Nigerians out there, I think the only thing I want to say to you guys is that keep watching this show, because this show will teach you a lot of things. This is where creativity also come out from. And watch out Adesua and Merciful, because they are coming out with something. Please, see, you don't sack them. I didn't mean they will leave your work. They'll come up with something that will help us. Thank you very much. I love you.
Thank you so much, Master Prosper, for coming on the show, for cracking me up, cracking us up for free. I mean, we didn't have to pay. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for sticking with us. Don't forget to follow TOS TV Network across all social media platforms. TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also check out our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. I am Adesi Welsi.
And I am Merciful Ajinomo. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.